We've now drawn our spaceship to the screen. We're happy with it. We could make it longer, but then that would limit how much we can actually do on the screen. What we're going to do now is we want to move it across the screen, okay? This is how we animate stuff in code. Now I'm going to do this I'm going to actually do this all inside of the loop, and it's going to repeat every time. I'm going to move that spaceship from the left edge to the right edge. And I'm basically going to do that by introducing you to this thing called a delay function. And the reason why we have this thing, there's actually two things I'm going to introduce you to. The delay function, which basically pauses the Arduino and the DIY gamer and all of the functionality for whatever period you tell it to pause. And another one, which is the gamer.clear function. And that basically clears whatever's on the screen and then draws whatever you tell it to. It's important that we clear things every time we draw them, otherwise it's just going to leave trails. What do I mean by trails? Let me show you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste 3 times the spaceship code, okay? Then I'm going to tell the first spaceship I want to start. I'm going to start my first spaceship over here on the left-hand edge. So I want this to be a 1, that to be a 1, and that to be a 1. And I want these to go back to 0, just so I can remember what I'm planning to do. So then we have to do the last of these 3 positions for the spaceship, and it's going to be x is equal to 3. You can see x is 3, and y is equal to 3. So let's see, oh, we've already set that. This was the first one we ever drew, so it should all be the same. Great. Now, what's going to happen is, when I upload this, you'll see what goes wrong. Huh. Okay, you see what's happened there? It's basically drawn a whole bunch of ships on top of each other, and there's no speed, there's no movement, there's no animation at all. So in order to make them look like they're animating, I'm going to put in this thing called a delay. So the delay function basically pauses everything, pauses the loop, pauses the code that we're writing at the moment that you write delay. So if you say, hey, draw this, now pause, it pauses. And you say, draw this, and now pause again. So we're going to tell it to pause for 100 milliseconds. I'm going to copy paste that 3 times under each of the little pieces of code, and then I'm going to upload them. Here's the results. Look at that. You see that? It drew it, and then it drew it, and then it drew it. But what it didn't do is clear itself. So now we can't actually see the thing drawing an animation, but rather it's drawing this kind of trail, and then it just stays there forever. And the reason for that is because we need to actually clear the results of the image before we draw the new image. So what we do is we say gamer.clear just before we start changing the display again. Gamer.clear just before, and one more time at the top here, gamer.clear, and let's see what happens when I upload that. There it is, look at that, we're moving a ship along the screen. Now, what I'm going to do, just because I really want to see it, is I want to see the ship go all the way across the screen and then begin again at the beginning. So, I'm going to code all that, forward this as much as you want. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now the only important thing to note is that, remember what I said about the array, it only goes up to x7, right? There's only 7th position in the array on the right hand side, which is actually the 8th position. So what happens if we say we wanted to go to the 8th position in the array? It's actually, if we say x is equal to 8, then it's actually the 9th position, which means it's outside of our screen, so we don't want that to happen. So when the ship goes all the way to the outside edge, we don't want to draw that little front pixel, okay? So I'm gonna, if you look here, I've said the gamer.display 8, 3. 8 doesn't exist on this array, so I'm just gonna comment that out. Doesn't exist on our 8x8 LED matrix. Now I'm going to upload it and see what we've done. There you have it. You're now moving a little spaceship across your lovely DIY gamer 8x8 white LED matrix. If you guys have any questions or comments, anything you want to say about how this film has helped you, or at least whether or not there's some other things we can add to these films, do let us know in the comments. We're hoping to build loads of wonderful resources just like this one for all of our DIY gamer and other kits. Thank you.